In a distant land, far beyond the golden hills and crystal-clear rivers, lived a young man with a pure heart named Guilherme. He was neither a knight nor a fearless hero, but a simple water carrier. His daily mission was to bring water from a distant river to his village, sustaining his family and community. Every day at sunrise, young Guilherme set out on his journey, carrying 2 clay jars hanging from a pole that he balanced on his shoulders. These jars, although inanimate objects, were his faithful companions. One of them was perfect, with a smooth surface and no defects. The other, however, had a crack that marked it deeply. With every step the young man took back to the village, some of the water from the cracked jar slowly leaked out through the fissures, leaving a trail along the way. Guilherme, however, never seemed to mind this loss. Every day he filled both jars with water, aware that by the time he reached the village, only one of them would be full to the brim. The other, though arriving with only half the water, was still carried with the same care and attention. The cracked jar, tormented by its own imperfection, finally mustered the courage to speak to the young man. One day, as he set it down to refill it, the jar, with a trembling and ashamed voice, said, "My dear master, I am so sorry. I am sorry for not being perfect like my companion. Each trip I lose half of the water you so carefully place in me. I am failing you, and I believe it would be better to be replaced by a flawless jar." Guilherme, surprised by the jar's confession, smiled serenely. His eyes conveyed a deep understanding, and he calmly responded, "Why are you ashamed of your crack? Look, tomorrow, as we make our way back from the river, I want you to pay attention to the side of the path. I want you to observe what is there." The next day, as the young man followed his usual path, the cracked jar, still overwhelmed by sadness, began to notice what the young man had mentioned. Along the path, wildflowers grew abundantly, dancing with the gentle morning breeze. The vibrant colors of the petals reflected the sunlight, creating a magnificent display that the jar had never noticed before. "Do you see?" said the young man, with a gentle smile. "Notice how these flowers grow only on one side of the path? That is the side where you are. Every day, as we walk back to the village, the water that escapes from you waters these flowers. If you did not have this crack, these flowers would never have grown. I pick them every day and bring them to beautify our home and the village. What you see as a flaw has actually brought beauty to our world." The cracked jar fell silent, reflecting on the young man's words. It had never imagined that its imperfection could have any value. For so long, it had judged itself by the water it could not hold, not realizing that what it considered a defect was, in fact, bringing life and beauty to the path. Guilherme continued, "Each of us has our flaws. There is no complete perfection in this world. But it is precisely these flaws that make us unique and often allow us to contribute in ways we never imagined. The important thing is not to be perfect, but to accept who we are and find purpose in our imperfections." From that day on, the cracked jar never again felt ashamed of its fissures. Instead, it came to value the role it played in bringing life to the flowers that adorned the path. The young man also continued his routine, now with even greater joy, knowing that his daily journey not only quenched the thirst of his village, but also adorned the road with flowers. Just like the jar, we all carry our imperfections. Sometimes, we focus so much on our defects and flaws that we forget to see the beauty and purpose that can arise from them. How many times do we fail to recognize the positive impact our imperfections can have on others and the world around us? This story teaches us that even when we feel like we are failing or not good enough, we may still be making a difference that we cannot immediately see. Our weaknesses can be a source of unexpected blessings, both for ourselves and for those around us. So, when you feel like the cracked jar, remember this story. Remember that even in your imperfections, you have invaluable worth. It is not perfection that defines our value, but rather the impact we make, even with our flaws. May we learn to look at ourselves with more compassion and recognize that, just like the jar, we are part of something greater, something that often we cannot immediately understand. And you? Have you ever felt like the cracked jar, inferior or insufficient? After hearing this story, what would you say to the part of yourself that has always been so hard on itself? Leave a comment about what you think of this reflection. We would like to hear a bit of your story. If this message has touched your heart in any way, share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. May God bless you, and we hope to see you in the next video.